course, the world economy is so dependent on consumer spending, travel, tourism, and you're seeing those industries really collapse and close. And of course, that is going to lead us into a recession, I think, not only here in the U.S., but worldwide.
Okay, Helen, this seems to have this kind of ripple effect from 2008, and I keep hearing the words bailout and stimulus and things like that. Bailing out who, and is it a good reason? And what about the little guy? What about the gig workers? That's what I really worry about. I look at these plans, and I don't really see, where the majority of people are going to be devastated by this. Hourly workers, waiters, waitresses, Amazon. I guess if you're going to be an Amazon delivery person, Jeff Bezos is going to help you out. But I mean, it seems to me the talk of how to react to this is an echo of 2008. You're worried about the rich, you're not so worried about the poor. Go ahead, Helen.
Yeah, event like this really exposes the flaws in the American system as far as, well, the government is talking about bailing out various industries and whether the financial stimulus will be enough to get these businesses back on their feet. But yeah, all of these, none of it trickles down to certainly the gig workers who have absolutely no rights as far as any sort of collective bargaining or demanding or anything. They're just sent home and told, okay, well, go get a job at another point. Well, very recently, people tried to access the unemployment website in New York State, and the website crashed because so many people tried to get on at once. So 10,000 something employees were laid off at one go. And so we're going to see a lot more of this, and these people have nothing to turn to. They have no unemployment is going to run out very quickly. These benefits have been slashed again and again. A lot of these people at this low level never really recovered from 2008. So for them, it's really just one blow on top of another. Yes, industry recovered, and industry will always be fine because there will always be people willing to buy these things once the economy is back on its feet. But the little guy, I mean, it's a big question.
If you're in the gig economy, a very long time. I mean, for most people, 2 weeks is a long time when you have these kind of situations. Go ahead, Helen.
Yeah, and you have some cities, New York and Seattle, I know, are two of them, I think San Francisco as well, have promised sort of an amnesty on evictions, but I mean, landlords are not going to just be nice and decide that they could let people indefinitely not pay rent. I mean, you're going to have a massive crisis on your hands unless there's some sort of sweeping just stay on rent payments, because people cannot, nobody in this country, 2/3 of Americans do not have any sort of savings. 2/3 of Americans can't afford $600 for an emergency. So, I mean, never mind for 6 months of emergency rent payments, plus healthcare, plus whatever other needs that people have. There's going to have to be a very serious reorganization of how people are dealing with this, because rent especially. I mean,
okay. Helen, hold that thought. We're going to go to a short...
Hey, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash, double honesty apostles, elders at Great Millstone, salutations to Akim. So, as you can see, this is a pretense or grounds for, pretty much civil unrest, with everything being shut down, and, people's lives are continuously getting harder, and hey, the scriptures say these things. So let's go to Second Ezra Salakia. Let's go from here. Second Ezra chapter 8 verses 50. Okay, all right, because the Lord is shaking things up, and he's he's coming through on his word, and here it is, Second Ezra 8:50. It says, "For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride." All right, and these miseries, like one of my favorite scriptures is Second Ezra 16, where it says, "Let's get it." These are the scourges, part of the scourges that's sent for amendment, for change, all right? And the Lord is pretty much bringing change. He's bringing, he's correcting things with these, these measures that's taking place, these disasters with this generated crises, So this is Second Ezra 16 and 17. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days, all right? And the scriptures say this is going to be the worst time ever in mankind history, you know. It says the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear. All right. The beginning of evils, what shall I do when these evils come? All right. And so this is the reality of the times. That's really they're really not far off at all. You know, they're really not far off at all. All right. Things moving the way they're moving. These things are gonna become a very real reality. You know. And being that, you know, this is all we've been talking about ever since we came into the truth. No matter how long we've been in the truth, we've been training our minds to understand the will of the Lord, you know, and to take away that, you know, leave off that weak nature, you know, and enter into understanding, because these things are set up, you know, to bring in a new world. You know, you can't have the new without phasing out the old. Okay, Secondaries 4:26 explains that, and I'm gonna have to get that too. So Salakia, it says, "Behold, famine, plague, tribulation, and anguish." So, and these people are gonna be in you know, in anguish. They're gonna be languishing, you know, and you know, because the elites, the establishment, they want to pretty much tighten the squeeze. You know, especially on you regular citizens. All right, people ain't gonna be able to pay their bills. You know, so what is that gonna result in? People ain't gonna be able to go out and do the normal things that they normally do, except they get vaccinated. So you're gonna have pretty much, you know, people fighting back for that purpose. You know, so people, you know, are against vaccinations, which they should be. But you know, I'm only speaking, you know, for the Israelites, you know, but yeah, man. And so these things are all set up for the new world, man, to come. All right, this world is phasing out, but it's gonna phase out in the most harshest way, and it's you know, thank the Lord Yahweh, why Yahweh Shai, that we have the understanding why these things are taking place. Verse 19, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish, right? So these people are gonna feel a squeeze. They're feeling it now. You know, you know, $600, you know, unemployment check ain't gonna do nothing. You know, it's probably more than what people were making in the first place. And the $1,200, you know, stimulus package that they sending to people, that ain't gonna do nothing, man. And then they're talking about taking that same $1,200 that they sent them, taking it back in taxes. And you see how disrespectful this Esau is, man. See how inconsiderate these devils are, man. You know, it makes you. It's cringing. You know, it's cringing to see, you know, the deliberate, you know, insecurity. I mean, well, inconsideration of the government towards the people. But you know, as the scriptures say, when the wicked rule, the people do mourn, you know? And so what are they going to do? They're going to bail out these major industries. They're going to give them millions of dollars, but they can't, they're not going to do it for the citizen, you know? But it says, behold, famine, plague, tribulation, and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment, all right? And when you go into this word amendment, let's see if I can. Okay. Let's see. So I can. Amendment. All right. Let's go into this word amendment. Okay. A minor change or addition designed to improve a text, piece of legislation. All right. Now, what piece of legislation is? And right now we're talking about the Lord, you know, and His laws. So a minor addition designed to improve a text. All right, and these plagues, these scourges, are a minor addition to improve the condition of the earth by wiping out the wicked. You know, piece of legislation etc., an amendment to existing bail laws. Okay. Let me see. It says, oh, here we go. It says, in the sense of improvement, correction. All right. So the Lord is bringing correction, and he's bringing it in the most grandest way, the most terrifying way, through I think it's what it said, through terribleness wilt thou answer us. The whole Most High, the confidence of the whole earth. So the Lord is bringing about improvement. I always use the word change because I looked it up one time, and that was the word that stuck out. So behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment, for correction, all right, for change. But for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. But victuals, behold, big victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case, all right? And that's going to happen, They're talking about the economy, pretty much getting back on track and all of that, and how things are going to be looking up, after this pandemic and all of that. The only way it's going to be looking up for anybody is if they pretty much line up with the New World Order, and the things that they got set up. It's tons of things, man. Tons of things coming out, It says, and even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. All right, and there's going to be a huge civil unrest in America. Whether you want to call it race riots, because America's divided every which way. America's divided every which way. You got these different militias, these different faction groups who believe in these different ideals, freedom, justice, all of this stuff, and they want the American ideal to continue. They want democracy to continue, but democracy really is a plague, all right? It's a death culture, okay? America's a death culture and always has been, always will be, all right? America was built off of rape, robbery, and murder. Verse 22, for many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine. That's coming, and this is going to be partially generated by Esau, Edom. But who is using Esau, Edom? They're nothing more than a tool. The scriptures say that the Lord has created the wicked for the day of evil, right? And whether he's using the evil, the wicked to destroy or bring about evil, or whether he's about to destroy the wicked, all right? So, which is going to happen? It says, for many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. All right? And the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them, for the earth shall be wasted, and the cities shall be cast down. All right? And Esau is that red horse that's taking peace from the earth, as it says in Revelation, the 6th chapter. All right? And so that's his job, to continue to bring about evil, to continue to bring about confusion, to continue to bring about disparity. And that's what the so-called white man is about. All right? Secondaries 4:26, just to get an understanding why this world is why the things are happening to this world. All right? Secondaries 4:26. Then answered he me and said, the more thou searchest, the more thou shalt marvel. For the world hasteth fast to pass away, and cannot comprehend things that are promised to the righteous in time to come. For this world is full of unrighteousness and infirmities. All right? All right? In this world, Salaki, this world is hastening really fast to pass away. All right? That's why the Lord has to speed up the time, right? And make a speedy return, which he is. It may not seem so to some, but hey, man, when you look at the rate that the Esau is moving, he there's there's definitely something on his end that he's rushing for. There's definitely something that they've seen or know, and of course we were the first sign of standing up, going out there teaching, starting with the apostles, elders, and their elders before them, all the way trickling down to us and the new brothers that's coming in. That was a whole sign for them to get ready and get prepared to fight for their spot on this earth, which he saw. You're not gonna be on this earth no more. All right, your time is up. It's over. Even as we speak, that's that kill shot that they don't even know that they have been struck by. All right, so Slakin. All right, so the world is hasting fast to pass away. All right, and these people can't marvel. They can't understand. They can't even think upon the things that's coming in I'm about to say the nether world, but the world that comes, or the age that comes after this world. All right. So it says, cannot comprehend the things that are promised the righteous in time to come, right? Which is the kingdom of heaven, right? And glory and righteousness in the earth. Okay, for this world is full of unrighteousness and infirmities. All right. Of course, men are less of stature. They have more ailments, It says, but as concerning the things that whereof thou askest me, I will tell thee, for the evil is sown, but the destruction thereof is not yet come. Which we're starting to see the falling of the wicked, okay? It says, if therefore that which is sown be not turned upside down, and if the place where the evil is sown pass not away, then cannot it come that is sown with good, all right? So this place has to be rooted out, or otherwise we wouldn't be able to see the kingdom that's set up to come. Right here, I'm going to just get the point, because like I said earlier, the point was, people are going to they're going to feel it squeeze, and there's going to be another crisis on this devil's hand, which he already have. He's already been prepared for it, and the way they're going to react to the crisis is what? A police state, a beefed up police state. All right. And people are going to riot, and people are going to do all sorts of things. Right? Secondaries 15:14, we get to the point. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes. In the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man's right, they're going to have all power, all leisure to do what they want to do. All right? Or will all power to do what they want to do. If they want to rob a store, or if they want to rob anything, they're going to be able to do it, because they're not going to even listen to the government. Because one thing is for certain is that they don't have trust in their government anymore. Okay? And when they don't have trust in their government, they're going to look to the officials to harm, All right? It says, it says, in a man's right, it says, in the course of their actions shall stand in their power, and men shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, for because of their pride the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. All right? A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their house with the sword and spoil their goods, meaning to take. All right? Because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. All right, and I'm going to end it right there, Lord, and this is edifying. And I'm going to give all praises, say, Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakodash. And don't mind the apostles and elders, salutations to you, Akim. Shalom.